Wonderful thing about life is our ability to remain resolute, our ability to hold on to what we believe, our ability to be known with a particular step and a particular way of life. And when you look around the early Christian community, it was a community where people are known for something. They are known for a particular way of life. Each of the apostles were known for something. Peter was known for his astuteness and then his outspokenness. And when you look at the other disciples, they are also known for something. And that is the beauty of life, that you are known for something, that you stand for something, that you represent something. You represent an ideology, you represent a philosophy of life. Like the early days of scholarship, where you have people like Aristotle, Plato, you have people like Socrates. There are people right from time were known for justice and fairness, and they stood by it. And like somebody like Socrates, he said, unexamined life is not worth living. So a life that is not reflected upon, go and kill yourself. So for them, life is about principle. Life is about ideology. And when you look at it, the early days of politics in Nigeria, it was a politics of ideology. The NPP, you know them with the logo of, I think, maize or something. You know them with that logo, which means they stand for agriculture. And during their time, their focus was on agriculture. Those states that NPP or NPN, something, I don't know. I saw the logo, I was not around then, but I saw the logo. And my dad explained it to us. Because the man used to keep some of these things, even those old money they used those days. At least I can still remember them. We did not meet them, but we saw them, he showed them to us. This is this. As they are changing money, the man will be keeping a reserve for posterity. Unfortunately, when he died, we were so young, I couldn't keep those things. But what I'm saying in fact is, he will tell us, he said, look, you must stand for something. In those days, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. You need to show the different political parties, their logo. And their logo is either housing, agriculture, or education. So you see it clear. And like in the western region, the logo was all about education. And see our logo. It was all about free education. People were sent to school free. So they stood for an ideology, and they were constant with that ideology. We know them for that. And I was telling somebody some days ago, we were discussing, and he said, Father, is there any ideology among these political parties? Because today somebody is in ABC, you cross to PDP. If the person is not favored, given ministerial position or the other, he will jump from APC to PDP. So you see them jumping and cross-carpeting like prostitutes. Prostitutes is all about give me, I follow you. No ideology. No selection. Your money is your selection. It's all about what they eat. So a society where people have no ideology, where people have no philosophy, where people have they are never known for anything, it's a useless society, a society that will collapse. And Nigeria is not far from such. Because it's a society where our generation will lack ideology. We are never consistent with what we do. We do not stand for something, no belief, no philosophy. And I was telling somebody, in the whole Nigeria, I have no mentor. Whether in the church or anywhere, in the army, I have no mentor. And that is because I've never seen anybody ahead of me that has been so consistent. I've never seen anybody ahead of me that have been able to tell me I am like this and I'll see the person to the end. No, I've never seen. I'm yet to see. And that is the unfortunate thing. So I cry for this country. A country that is about is heading for doom. God will not allow it. But then the reality of it is, when you have a country where people have no belief, where people have no ideology, where people cannot stand for something, it's a society, it's a country, a society that will collapse. Take it or you leave it. Because, you know, as I said earlier, my dad was telling me, I said, look, so region, it was NPP or something, and the middle belt fall into that region. It was all about agriculture. Farming. All their money, in as much as they were pumping it into education, they pump more money into agriculture. Their focus is food sufficiency. That when a man is satisfied, at least he will be more reasonable and more useful. And like people like Latin Jack Conde, his focus was his logo was housing. And if you go to Lagos, Latin Jack Conde estate here and there, right? It was about building. They said human beings must have a roof over their head. Now tell me, which political party in Nigeria now, from 1990, that has ideology that you can say you can pinpoint what they are up to? None. Somebody is in PDP today. He crossed to APC. From APC, he crossed to Labour Party or ABGA, looking for tickets to contest. What is your ideology? Nothing. 0 + 0, 0. Empty vessel, empty brain, bangolo, whitewash. When you have no ideology, you are a whitewash, you are a disgrace. You are an insult to humanity. And a country where me with my age, at my age, I'm no longer talking of 30, but I have no mentor, something is wrong. And many of you here, you will say that, no mentor. Except those that are not sharp upstairs. If you are sharp upstairs, it's hard to see a mentor in Nigeria. So today somebody is criticizing Tinubu, speaking against Tinubu. The moment Tinubu give him appointment, he begins to sing his praise. Does that person have ideology? If you want to criticize Tinubu, criticize him to the end so that you help him to adjust, you help him to sit up. You see somebody criticizing the chief of army staff. Hey, General Lagbaja this, General Lagbaja that. The moment General Lagbaja call him and give him an office where he'll be leaking oil, you begin to sing his praise. Failing to realize that the general needs somebody that will stick and he will also learn from. And that is the wickedness of our society. We don't look at that legacy. We look at property. When you leave property behind, the property will crumble. When you leave legacy behind, generation will come and meet that legacy. When you have ideology, you leave something behind. Nelson Mandela is my mentor. And when you look at his life, he was somebody who was astute, he was consistent in his belief. Must we have that in Nigeria? No. What you want to leave behind is property. You leave property behind, and you leave no ideology behind. You are a waste. You are an insult to God. Brothers and sisters in the Lord, when you talk of people like Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. We don't know them, but we know what they have done. You talk of people like Oscar Romero. We don't know them, we know what they have done. We talk of someone like Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Right from as a young girl, she looked at Calcutta. People are suffering, people are dying. I want to go and play a role in their life. She left for Calcutta in India. She was not from Calcutta. She left and went there, and she was there, focused on it till she died. She died going to bed to help the poor. From a rich, a well-to-do family. Brothers and sisters in the Lord, what am I saying? The fact of consistency. When you are consistent, you are a blessing to the world. When you are consistent, to be consistent means following a pattern of life, following an ideology without wavering from it. No matter what, you stand by that ideology. Consistency means it's a way of life, an attitude of doing what you believe in over and over, and you are identified with that philosophy. Like late Awolowo, you can never identify with People's Redemption Party because his ideology was not there. People like Sadana Sokoto, you cannot identify him with Action Group. His philosophy was different. People like Tafawa Balewa, you cannot identify them with the party in the East because their ideology was different. It was a different belief, but all tailored towards the well-being of humanity, the well-being of everybody. And that's why you see people like Shehu Shagari, these were presidents those days, but go and check the house these people had. Now, even you will be disappointed. Because it was an ideology, a moment of ideology. Ideology was the ideology of making the country great, making the country better. But today, no. We are so distracted by materialism that we have no ideology. We are never consistent. Today, somebody is shouting foul. Tomorrow, the other person, the same person begin to clap hands. Is that not foolery? Is that not self-delusion? What are you known for? What can we say about you? See, I tell somebody, when you want to be an activist, right? But in Nigeria, somebody is an activist today, give him position tomorrow. Then you begin to ask, what is wrong with this man? Somebody used to call comrade. Those days was jumping everywhere. Now, he is one of those defending what is not supposed to be defended. And begin to look at this old man. A wasteful old man. Comrade. Now, because you have started licking oil hand, no more comrade. You should be known as a comrade. People like Aristotle, people like Socrates, I say comrade, I did not call any name. So don't misquote me. Anybody is a comrade, I'm a comrade. People like Aristotle, they did not enter politics. There should be people that should be looking at the politicians and talk to them. But no. When the politicians see that you are the one talking, they will call you and give you one position. Advisor to this, minister to this, advisor to minister of this. You keep quiet. Are you a comrade? You are a disgrace. You are a shame. In the church, people cannot look up to you and say, oh, I look up to this man. He's my mentor. He's always on time for mass. He's always serious with church activities. He's always committed. Can we look at you and say you are a mentor? You are never consistent. Today you come late, tomorrow you come quick. So what I'm saying is, dear people of God, we must be consistent. When you are consistent, you are known for consistency. Now when we talk about consistency, there are two forms of consistency. Positive consistency and negative consistency. Positive consistency is that you are known for something meaningful. Anybody know you for that. Oh, that man, oh, he has been like that. You know, I went for a meeting for this our conference, and I was talking about somebody. And the priest that I've said, they say, this man never speak even in his old age. Is he like that? I said, still like that, oh. Monkey na monkey. First way they use left hand, so they forget that quick. No matter what they was, it was show. People of God, you see, it was not a recognition of the man in the positive way, but in the negative way. That is not, the man has been consistent in evil for a very long time. But you must be consistent positively. Be positively consistent. You are a comrade, you remain like that till you die. You are a believer of justice, you remain like that till you die. You are a believer of objectivity and the well-being of everybody. You remain like that till you die. And that's the beauty of the great Madiba, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela had the interest of the people of South Africa in mind right from day one. A successful lawyer, a great lawyer. It would have been the white enticed him through different means. Say, no, the good of my people is the most important thing to me. And you see his life. After his first tenure, in fact, the people begged him to become their president. And after the first tenure, they were begging him again, say, no, let another person go. I cannot remain. And you see some old men that have no respect for their age. You see them extending their tenure. Somebody say 2 tenure, please 2 tenure, want to adjust it. And when they do something, they begin to say ECOWAS, rubbish. What the tenure say 2 tenure? Why would you want to go and change it to 3 tenure? Are you consistent? So there must be reaction. And they will shout in ECOWAS. The ECOWAS that are not even united. You cannot leave here now and go to Ghana. You cannot leave here now and go to another ECOWAS country free. Except Niger. That one no problem. Just shortcut to enter. But you want to enter normally, you must there are procedures. European Union, if you have to get visa, there are countries you can visit, right? Without another visa again. Without no. Africa want to do the same thing. When Africa is never consistent. Only few persons like Mandela, Robert Mugabe. We talk of people like Archbishop Desmond Tutu. When you are mentioning their name, Nigeria somehow. I'm not mentioning, so don't blame me. We are never consistent. A Nigerian man, an elder statesman who is talking today from the north, once something affects the north, you side the north. Are you consistent? Injustice is injustice. Whether to the man from the north or from the west or from the south, injustice is injustice. How long shall we continue to remain inconsistent? See, look at the future generation. Look at the future of your children. That's why you need to be consistent. Abraham in the book of Genesis chapter 12, immediately God called him. From that moment he said, God, I am loyal. The loyalty of Abraham can never be questioned. And that's why he says, Abraham's blessings are mine. Because of what? Abraham was a man that was consistent with God. See, when you are consistent with God, God will also be consistent with you. When you are firm with God, God will be firm with you. You are not firm with God, you want God to be firm to you. Why? How? For what? You are not obedient to God. You want God to be, you want God to hug you. You are never consistent in your ideology, in your principles. When it favors you. And that's the problem with the Nigerian, the typical Nigerian. It's all about the me, not about the society. We are so selfish, so self-centered. On the pulpit, we are self-centered. It's all about getting money from the church anyhow and go and build mansion. As if your family is the only poor family on earth. You work in a church for years, nothing to show. You are driving the best car. You are looking good, the church is looking bad. Your family is living in a big house, a big mansion, and you are comfortable, and the church is like a shrine. The same thing to offices. When we are in an office, we don't look at how to maintain that office. Sometimes you see, you go to some places, you go to some offices, the flag has torn. It's like old woman's rag. And the person is collecting something. Operating or collecting something from the government. Meant for that thing. You are never consistent. It's all about the me. Brothers and sisters, as a priest, I'm talking to myself this morning. I should be consistent in my calling. I should be consistent in my action. That is when God will bless me. God can never bless me when I'm not consistent. When I'm consistent with God, God will be consistent with me. His blessings will be forever. We sing this song, bless me, oh Lord, bless me, oh Lord. I ask you to bless me, oh Lord. Have you done something that merits that blessing? It's not about the singing. People of God say, why is it that we are far away from God? It's because we are never consistent with God. We only go to God when it is convenient for us. We only go to God when we need something. Abraham was not a man like that. Abraham was a man that was consistent with God, not just because of what he wanted, but because he was able to recognize that God is his God. Be consistent, people of God. And let us get done with this attitude of mediocrity. I stopped going to church. This father has done this. Is the father your God? I stopped going to church. This reverend has done this. Is the reverend your God? Your relationship with God has no business with the action of man. When your action is dictated by the attitude of men, then sorry for you. They will destroy you. Today, oh Father, I am with you. And tomorrow when you do something wrong and the priest talk about it, you change parish. You are not with me. You are with yourself. People of God, why am I talking about this issue of consistency? A person that is not consistent can never also receive consistent blessing from God. A person that is never consistent with God in action can also expect the action of God to be consistent with his own or her own. No. Your consistency with God determines God's consistency with you. You see, I'm talking about this today so much because our country, Nigeria, is a blessed country. It's a country that God has elevated. Look at Canada, other countries. This fire, burning everywhere, right? You are where you watch news. But Nigeria, how? From where? We've never seen that. Look at earthquake. We've never experienced it seriously. So what again can God do for us to be consistent in our service to Him? No, how do you want God to do again for us to be consistent in our love for Him? The people of God, there is need for a change. We cannot continue like the politicians. The politicians are never consistent. Somebody who is in PDP today can go. So when they are fighting, leave them to be killing themselves. When they even kill themselves, it's better for us. At least -1, -1, -1. People of God, see, when our ideology is so much about the self, you can never be consistent with God. But when our ideology is about the well-being of everybody, that is when you come consistent with God. I'm saying this because of the woman with the woman that went to Jesus in the gospel that we read this morning, the gospel of Matthew. She went to Jesus, said, Jesus, heal my daughter. There is a demon troubling my daughter. Cast that demon. Jesus did not answer her. She kept on. She insisted. She was consistent. Please help me. She did not say, Jesus, what's your own self? You show yourself. Is it because you have the power to heal? No. It was all about appeal. Jesus, have mercy on me. I know you can do it for me, son of David. Again, Jesus, help me. I know you can do it, son of David. Again, Jesus, help me. Help me to heal my child. Help me to cast away. You see, it was help. Consistency. So Jesus was moved by her consistency. Are you consistent in your prayer? Are you consistent in your spiritual life? Are you consistent in your relationship with God? Are you even, let's keep God aside first. God, wait one place. Are you consistent with your relationship with your husband or your wife? Today, I love you. Kiss, kiss. Tomorrow, the same person does something, offend you. No more love. You know, one of my children, my daughter, when she came to me for marriage, I said, babe, you sure? She said, yes. I love him. Without him, I'll die. I said, you will not die in Jesus' name. Marry him. Just 1 year old, The same person come. If I see this person, I feel like vomiting. How manage? No, just because he insulted your family. And so what? What's so important about your family? Are you not insulting Tinubu? Are you not insulting Obasanjo? Those ones, don't they have families? Are you not insulting us, Chris? Look at this father, George Waka. Are you not insulting us? Are you not gossiping us? Would they hear? But they close ear. Have we stopped giving you communion? Have we stopped praying for you? Because you are human, so we should be able to know that you are acting out of your humanity. You see, and I was so disappointed. We are never consistent. The same man you came and you were saying this is the best man, this is the man that is bad. God just fashion him and drop him for you. And then let just a year, the same person using the same mouth. The man was even talking to her. She could do like this. I said, please, auntie, look here so that make your neck no break. So who is deceiving who? Hey, love. Within 1 week, man, they don't finish. You now ask, who is fooling who? So love is about consistency. The love of God. God loves us, right? Has he stopped loving us? You, the adultery you committed yesterday, is looking at you. Has he stopped loving you? Me, my irresponsibility yesterday, God is watching. Has he stopped loving me? People of God, let's even keep God aside. We must be consistent with ourselves. Positively consistent. I love you, yes. When you do wrong, I talk to you. When you do wrong, I correct you. But not to say I don't love you again, it means there was no love. When you are consistent, it means that's what it is. From the beginning, you know what you want. From the beginning, don't start a project you cannot finish. Don't be a politician. It's only politicians that start projects and will not complete it. They use it to wait for the next campaign. When you go to Savongeri, they will do the road half and leave it. Next campaign, they will come and do be clap. Hey! He will be doing like Tata or Momo. Every consistent in the Lord. Consistency must begin from us. Let us be consistent with ourselves. That if I tell you A, you know I mean A. If I tell you B, you know I mean B. There was a time somebody called me and said, Father, see, you know, at least if you are in a place that somehow at least, which we have hope because you remember us. But Father, see, do this. It makes sense initially. But I said, no. There are people that look up to me. I must be consistent, no matter what. And I said, brother, thank you very much for the advice. But I will not. He said, I know now. I didn't want to even call. I just felt like, I said, yes, thank you very much. It's not about you. It's about somebody looking up to you. Look at Martin Luther King Jr. From the beginning, he said, I am not going to use violence to conquer the attitude of racism against the black. And go and check his history. Till he was killed, he did not use violence. He said, I know non-violence may not work fast, but it will work one day. And it came to pass. He was killed, but today we remember him, a man that was consistent. What of Mahatma Gandhi? A consistent man. Oscar Romero, a consistent man. Look at these great men and women. Aristotle, a consistent person. Socrates, a consistent person. Now, see, if you want to dispute the letters of St. Paul, go and read all his works, all his books. Letter to the Corinthians, the Romans, the Philippians, Thessalonians. Go and read all of them. The ending is always the same, right? Yes, it was always with greeting and grace upon the people of God. That's why we are able to know, this letter was written, you know, letter to the Hebrew was seen as letter of St. Paul before. Well, later it was discovered that it was not from St. Paul. It's closer, but no. Because St. Paul did not focus on so much of rituals. No. It was about exhortation to the people, to the churches. They say, okay, this one is not Paul. It was ascribed to Paul, but not Paul. The moment Saul was arrested in the Acts of Apostles chapter 9, from that moment his life changed. His life became a life for Christ. He lived for Christ all through. Go and check. In the Acts of the Apostles chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, go and check the life of the early apostles. It was their life of consistency that made people to say, yes, these are Christians. Because they live according to the pattern of Christ. Christ needs a particular pattern of life. Are you living a particular pattern of life? Today, you are Santa. Holy, holy. Tomorrow, you are different. In the church, you are Santa. Holy, holy. Outside, you are something else. Are you consistent? In the church, I preach a message and I go outside, I do another thing. Am I consistent? God wants us to be consistent. It is in that consistency that He blesses us. I love you, I should mean it. I mean I love you. I like you, I should mean it. I mean I like you. I value you, it means I value you. No matter what you do, I continue to value you. No matter what you do, I continue to love you. Because love is eternal. The same woman you say you love, without her you go and hang yourself. The same woman do something little. You say, oh, the marriage is over. And I always tell men, I say, how are you sure you marry another one? I will not be worse than that one. Consistency in love is that you continue to love the person no matter the weakness. Because we all have our own weaknesses. There is something about you. I'm not tolerating you if you don't know. There is something about me. You are not tolerating me. But what makes us Christians is our ability to be consistent. Even when we have misunderstood, we have disagreement, we disagree in order to agree. See, until we are consistent in the church will never grow. Until we are consistent in our relationship with God, God can never bless us. Until you are consistent in your marriage will never work. Until you are consistent in your relationship will never work. Be consistent for once in your life. It's not that when the priest here, you like the priest, you are serious with church. When you don't like the one that will come tomorrow, you stop coming to church. No, you are not consistent. You are not coming to worship the priest. The priest is also looking forward to Jesus. So look forward to Jesus, not the priest. Look forward to Jesus, not the priest, the prophet. Look up to Jesus, not the prophetess or anybody. Who are we? People of God, this woman was consistent. Even when Jesus told her, look at the statement of Jesus. It is not right to give the food of the children to the dogs, right? No, look at it. Is it not insult? But she was not looking at that insult. She was looking at the fact of what she wanted. She's like, Jesus, if you like, say that one. No problem. I'm not bothered. What I want is your help. Help, help, help. Dear brothers and sisters, see, if we want to succeed as a country, we must be consistent. If you criticize me today, criticize me tomorrow, even when I give you office. And that's why last week, for those of you that listened to this Arise a lot, there was an analysis of Governor Wike. Governor, Barrister, Honorable Minister Wike. And what happened? Wike, some months ago, they asked him, will you go to PDP, go to APC? He said, how will I leave headache and go and look for cancer? PDP was a headache, right? APC was a cancer. But today it's part of the cancer government. And the man said, who is deceiving who? The same people you say cancer. When they appointed their national chairman, you went there to visit him and to fraternize with him. And you're always moving around with them. So which means you also want to share in a cancer. And you are analyzing it. These people of God, and why were they saying it? They said it because they said, look, why is it that a Nigerian can never be consistent once in his life? And somebody brought it up. He said, in 2012, not me, oh, Arise News, I watch. Yes, so at least this my alert. 30 days, make 1 month, I appreciate it. See a gift from God. Don't joke with it, but I must shout. And somebody said, in 2012, Falana, SAN, President, His Excellency Tinubu, and some other people, they did occupy Lagos because of this removal of fuel subsidy, right? You know now. He said, but the same person again that said, no, this is anti-people. This government wants to kill the people. The same people now have come to remove subsidy. What a world. When it's good for you, you shout, comrade, comrade. When they give you one position, you become a loyalist. Niger Delta then, you know some of them now that were fighting agitators. Niger Delta must be good, they must be good. They must bring the headquarters of oil companies. As government said to them, today now they are the ones that if they are having any judgment in the court, they will gather some boys and be jumping. A very fast man will be jumping. He said, no, kill yourself. It tells you the hypocrisy. It tells you the stupidity. It tells you the lack of love for the people. It's all about the me. When I am satisfied and people are hungry, I am also hungry. Do you know why? They will come for me. Dear brothers and sisters, for this country, Nigeria, to be better, we must be consistent. Positively consistent. If you believe in criticizing what is wrong, continue. If you believe in what is right, follow it. No matter what, they will deal with you. In the army, they will give you, or in the civil service, not army, I mean civil service. In the civil service, they will give you 40 posted. But what is it? You post me to even Niger, post me to Chad. So long as 30 days, I will hear Bagam, no problem. People of God is saying, if we want God to change our situation, we want God to bless us, be consistent with God. There is nobody that has ever been consistent with God that has not been blessed. Is it Abraham? Is it Sarah? Is it Peter? Peter has been consistent in his outspokenness from the beginning. Peter has always been stood in his defending of Jesus from the beginning. Remember, Jesus said, oh, the Son of Man will die. Jesus, don't say like that. The same person, when others were saying, people say you are this, Peter said you are the Son of God. The same Peter, when they came to arrest Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, the servant of the high priest, Marcus, when he came, what did Peter do? He removed his knife and sharp and cut the ear. I wanted to mention what was, but my mouth have to rearrange. He yankered the ear, and the ear started rolling and dancing on the ground. Jesus said, Peter, put that thing back. He was a man that was consistent in his defense of Jesus. During the transfiguration, he said, Jesus, no, let us do tribute for you people. Don't be under the sun, so that something will cover your head. Love for Christ. Even when he fumbled, he said, Jesus, forgive me. No, I'm human. Love for Christ. The same thing to James and John. You see Paul, when Saul became Paul, you see his life. People of God, let us be consistent. Be consistent in the love you have for your wife. Let your love not be conditional. The day she do well, better woman. The day she not do well, useless woman. Let your love be genuine for your husband. The day he decided to buy you Hollandis, hey, better man. Dim mama. My husband. The day he did not give you money for Tura. There's also we call those days Tura. With the tap from our sister those days. You all tap and rub and go wrong. Go out, go do fine boy. Men of not do and don't believe me. This is confession, open confession. The day he did not buy Tura, useless man. Many people of God, that is ungodly. The day, oh, the God that answered it by fire, the day he answer you by fire, hey, let it be my God. The day he want to answer you with water, oh, no, 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 no. No, life cannot continue that way. Our love for God must be consistent, because His love for us is consistent. When we are consistent, God will also be consistent with us. Be consistent with one another. Be consistent in the church. Be consistent in your actions. Be consistent in your words. I mean, positively consistent, so that people will learn from you. See, in Nigeria today, we lack mentors. People are looking for mentors. Hey, I'm looking for a mentor. You are looking for a mentor or mentors. Let's not just be calling Mandela, calling those people outside of the country. It seems as if in Nigeria there are no human beings, there are no elders. They are elders, but they are not positively elderly. Let us become mentors to people. Be consistent in your action. No matter what it will cost you, be known for something. Don't sit on the fence. When we are consistent with God, the same way God will be consistent with us. When you are not consistent, you are a disaster, you are a shame, you are a disgrace.